and I'll be talking about the Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu fight that's coming up on July 25th. I think they're having a press conference tomorrow. So after they have that press conference, I'm gonna give my thoughts on that. I'm really looking forward to that fight because I'm a huge fan of Errol Spence. I was a huge fan of Crawford and Spence when they fought, which is why it was such a fun fight for me to cover. And although he got shut out by Crawford, I think that he has a lot left in the tank. I think it was pretty interesting hearing some of the circumstances that were going on in the training camp leading up to that fight. It's not to make excuses for him, but due to his fault, the trainer's fault, a little bit of both, they just weren't prepared the way they should have been. And even with the rib injury, that's one of those cases where, yeah, you might make a lot of people mad and make some enemies, but maybe you just have to call off that fight. I know they called it off before in December of 2022, so maybe he didn't want to call it off to make it seem like he was making excuses, like he was the reason why the fight wasn't happening. But it probably would have been wise to stop. If you can't spar for 8 weeks, like you're like 8 weeks out and you're not sparring, that's not good, right? You obviously don't want to be sparring too close to the fight because you don't want to be taking punishment that you won't have time to heal from. But further out from the fight, you should be getting your sparring in, getting your work in. They did no sparring during that training camp. You're just doing mitts. It's just, you're not going to compete at a high level, and that has nothing to do with Terrence Crawford. That just goes for any boxer. If he was facing Sean Porter, if he was facing Manny Pacquiao, if that fight ever happened and that was the type of camp he's having, you're going to have serious problems, my boy. If you're facing Danny Garcia or Mikey Garcia and you're not getting any sparring, yeah, you're bigger than those guys. Those guys are getting prepared to fight a bigger fighter who's going to try to impose their will, while you're not getting prepared for anything coming from them. Like, no matter who you're facing, it's not good. So I'm really interested to see how he looks in this fight, because he's looking really good in his training camp clips with Ronnie Shields, legendary trainer, and it seems like he looks more like the guy that was in the Olympics when he won a medal back in the day, like the guy that used to throw the jab more and use some more of his lateral movement, as opposed to the plotter who's just trying to walk you down like the Terminator and just take your soul from you. Like, I think that he still has that spring left in his legs, so why not combine a little bit of both and recreate yourself, and let's get a fight in and see what you got left in the tank against a very, very game opponent in Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is not going to be somebody who's necessarily defensively sound. Like, he's going to basically, he has the basics, yes, but like, he's going to be there to be hit. It's about, can you deal with Tim Tszyu's offense, because he be looking to walk through people just like Errol Spence be looking to walk through people. So it's two trains colliding. So I'm very, very excited for this fight, and I want to see what happens with it. So let me know what you think about the UFC fight from last night, the Conor McGregor injury, the submission victory by Paddy the Baddy over Benoit Dennis, and the aftermath of Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell from last week, and then what we got coming up with Errol Spence and Tim Tszyu. That being said, hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and catch you on the next one. Peace.